I'm Lee Wilson, and this is TGO Wyoming. And today I'm going to talk about the Lucid HD7. We're pretty much in a world that is overrun, just flooded with red dots. So what makes a red dot stand out? I'll show you. I talked to Jason Wilson. He is the primary and founder of Lucid. This guy is probably one of the nicest people to talk to, incredibly knowledgeable about his optic and the AR world in general. And he has developed a phenomenal optical gun sight. This is a red dot sight, and we're going to kind of go over some of the features of it here and kind of give you guys a look and go out to the range and test it out. So you get your HD7 in a box like this, and he's done a really good job. Everything on the box is very clearly laid out. You have your limited lifetime warranty, all the specs, and the fact that it's a holographic red dot sight. Very, very cool. You have all your specs, and we'll kind of run through the specs real quick. Oh, you also get a little lens cloth, which is nifty, in your instruction manual. The frame is cast aluminum, so I mean, when you hold this optic, it is not the lightest thing in the market, which is good. It's solid. It's very well built. I've been messing with it for a couple of days now, and just really well constructed, well designed optic. It's 100% shockproof and waterproof, or waterproof and fog proof. It's nitrogen charged, and you're not going to break this optic under normal use. Shockproof to a 458 SOCOM is what Jason's tested it at, and runs on a single AAA, which he's done a really innovative design and mounted the AAA in line in the base, so it doesn't have anything up here on top to knock the battery compartment. It's in line with the optic. You have tactile clicks on your windage and elevation adjustment. They are pretty stiff, so on a combat rifle, you're not going to have to be worrying about not bumping into this, having this hit your web gear, knocking it into a wall, and having your zero come off. It also has half MOA windage adjustments as well, which the windage adjustment is very stiff. I mean, you got to put some serious torque on it to get that windage adjustment to move. It uses a very thick grease in there to keep everything nice and solid. Built-in Picatinny rail. Now, this is an interesting design concept here. He actually has the mounting screws on the ejection port side of the rifle. But I was talking to him, and he said, no, if you're worried about that or concerned about that or like it another way, you can reverse it, which is really a really cool concept. Now, there's a couple of things about the Lucid that set it apart in the world of red dots. First and foremost, price point. This is a $229 optic. You can check it out on mylucidgear.com. I'll post a link on the bottom of this video. And designed in Riverton. That's where Riverton, Wyoming. That's where these guys are based out of. And pretty cool to see a local boy here, making a good optic and making a good go at it. But one of the niftiest features of this optic is the fact that it has two modes of operation. You have your power button here and manual brightness adjustments right here. But on the top, we have a light sensor. If you run it in auto mode, it will automatically adjust the reticle brightness. And that's kind of a really cool concept, because if you're going from a light environment to a dark environment, there have been a lot of times where you go in through a house or something. Let's say you're in law enforcement or military, and if you have to kick the door into a house and you go from bright outside to dark inside, your reticle's too bright, generally, if you have it set up for outside. Well, this takes care of that. This is an auto-adjusting feature, and it is very well implemented. You don't even notice it. It's just the reticle is the right brightness for wherever you are, whatever conditions. I've tested it several times in the house here, going through the light areas, like leaving lights on in some room and going into dark rooms and vice versa, and it's worked exceedingly well. The outer is completely rubberized, so good armor coating there. You don't have to worry about your optic getting dinged up. Let's see here. He says the weight is 13 ounces. I believe it. Not the lightest thing, but not the heaviest thing on the market. And of course, integrated Picatinny. Just kind of going through the list here. Variable reticle style. That is another really nice option on this optic. Is that here you have this side knob, and you have a single 2 MOA dot. All reticles are based around a 2 MOA dot. So you have a single dot, a crosshair, a circle with crosshairs, and then a circle dot, which is the dot inside the big, or inside a larger circle. Really cool. We'll go over the reticles and show you guys how they all look. But we're going to stick it on the rifle and head out to the range and get some, good testing done on this. And I'll show you guys how the reticle options work. Let's see here. What else can I think of? Other good stuff. You have your instruction manual. Kind of goes over the whole thing. Just one page fold out. Lucid is also producing magnifiers. Now, currently available is a 2x screw-in magnifier. The rear of the scope, or of the optic, is threaded. So that way you can just go ahead and screw in a 2x magnifier. But he's also producing, or going to be producing very soon, a 3x magnifier, which you can stick in any type of 30mm ring mount or a flip to side mount, like you get a LaRue flip to side for that magnifier. And I think he's going to be pricing that around the $300 mark, which is substantially less expensive than anything else on the market. And that's kind of the point. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get a good optic. So yeah, that's pretty much this part. We're going to get to some shooting here and go through the reticle options, and well, we'll hop to it. Alright, so here's a view through the Lucid HD7. Right now I have the reticle turned to the circle dot, which you can see, and we're going to go ahead and switch it over and show you guys the different reticles, hopefully without too much camera shake here. Okay, there is your basically circle and crosshair, nice little dot. Your standard single crosshair, and your 2-minute of angle dot. Now, one nice thing about this optic is when you change reticles, your point of aim, point of impact does not shift. So it doesn't matter what reticle you're using, center of that reticle is going to be where your bullet impact is. So that's a really nice feature that he's integrated, into the reticle changing function of this scope. It is, of course, zero magnification, so parallax free at 10 yards, I believe is what Jason told me here. And, both eyes open, you have good peripheral vision. And so, very, very useful optic. Now, I'm going to put my finger over the light sensor and show you guys that dimming function. So there is full room brightness. You can see the reticle dim. And, I mean, it works very well. Full brightness, and now I'm just cupping my hand over the reticle, kind of getting it dimmed down, and then completely covering the reticle, or covering the light sensor for the reticle. Very, very cool function. Now when you switch modes, you press the power button and it blinks 3 times slowly for manual brightness adjustment. You can tell right now that's pretty high. I'm going to turn it down a little bit, show you guys how that works. So I'm manually adjusting the reticle brightness. I'm going to switch it back to auto mode. The fast blink means you're back in auto mode. Very, very cool. Switch reticles again. So we're going to go ahead and mount the Lucid HD7 onto my AR. It's a very, very simple process. Notice the gun is clear. You have your 2 cross bolts here, along with your adjustment screws. So I'm just going to loosen those up quite a bit here. Push a little bit here to kind of get this all to pop loose, so I can get some adjustment out of it. It's a really stiff design, so it doesn't come off. And basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mount this optic right about there. So kind of get that locked on. Set it to where it needs to be. Now another nice feature about this optic is that when you're running it with backup irons, it gives you a lower third co-witness, which many operators prefer, and many regular, recreational shooters like as well, simply because you have more vertical sight when you're out shooting with your backups. Now I'm just using a nickel. Nickel tight is generally good enough, I've noticed. You don't want to over tighten it, you just don't want to damage your rail. That's all there is to it right there. That's how you mount it. Alright, shooting time.